Do you want someone to put a chip in your brain so you can start your car? I'm being serious. Do you? Because Elon Musk wants to. He wants to put a chip in your brain so you can start your car and do a bunch of other things too. It's coming quickly. This is around the corner. I don't know if you knew that, but it is. Are you ready to put a chip in your brain so that you can start your car? Maybe scroll through your phone? This is crazy. This is the Meltdown.
The end is closer than we think.
It is by my hand.
Are you ready?
You arrive.
He calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
The end of days countdown has started.
For ourselves and for future generations, a new world order.
This is the Meltdown.
Christ was coming back to set up his kingdom.
The end of all things. And here is your host, Darien Anthony.
Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, that's not so bad. You know, maybe I'll be able to scroll through my phone, pick my playlist on Spotify, go through my Netflix movies with my brain. It's not so bad. What's the big deal? You know, I'm kind of sick and tired of using this phone. And I carry my phone all around. It's definitely full of germs. You know, what's the big deal? You know, it's just a little chip. It's a huge big deal. This is not where it's going to stop. And it's not the only thing that he wants to use it for. Let's get in some breaking news. Apocalyptic scene in nuclear Russian city as birds fall from the sky and lie scattered around the streets. Social media is awash with conspiracy theories after photos and videos posted online showed a Russian street littered with birds' corpses. The incident happened in Balakovo, a city best known for its large nuclear power plants. According to a post from the page Typical Balakovo on the Russian social media network VK, residents in the city of Saratov region, around 1,000 kilometers south of Moscow, witnessed a road filled with dozens and dozens of dead birds. Incredible. Well, 2020 is not giving up on its destructive pattern. Swarms of winged insects invade Siberian city, leaving Russians stunned. A truly apocalyptic vista has emerged from the Russian city of Krasnoyarsk after a massive horde of winged insects invaded its streets, forming gargantuan clouds in the air and swarming on the pavements. Multiple videos of the insect invasion started making the rounds online on Monday, this very past Monday, promptly becoming a viral topic in Russia. Incredible. It is absolutely plague-like. It is insects flying, creating clouds in the air in Siberia. It's incredible. A DARPA-funded implantable biochip to detect COVID-19 could hit markets by 2021. An experimental new vaccine developed jointly with the U.S. government claims to be able to change human DNA and could be deployed as early as next year through a DARPA-funded injectable biochip. This is exactly what we're talking about, guys. They want to mark us, track us, and that's proof of what's going on. So horrible. So let's get to our main subject today: computer chips in your brain. NBCNews.com's column Think came out with an article this week titled "Computer Chips That Can Read Our Brains Have Moved from Sci-Fi to Reality, for better or for worse. The near-term applications will mostly benefit society, but the danger of a dystopian future is becoming more too real." Authored by Rizwan Verk, basically starts out saying, you know, in the blockbuster movie 1990 Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he plays like a construction worker, and you remember he has a chip in his brain. Well, he goes on to a company called Recall Inc., sits in a chair, and he sits in with a device, and it plugs into his brain. The device is basically a way to give him false memories or a vacation, and he picks to go to Mars, and which is basically more affordable and less time consuming than taking an actual trip off to the actual planet. But in the movie, that's basically how it goes. And the movie, based on a short story by science fiction writer Philip K. Dick, well, it moves quickly into a lot of violence and dark exploration. He can't control his memories. It's a dystopian future, and really, everything's out of control. And Philip K. Dick wrote the short story in the 1960s, which they based Total Recall on. And that whole aspects of brain-computer interface, or BCI, in which a computer is able to read what's happening in your mind, is disturbing. I mean, if you think about it, all the electrical signals that are going to be going off in your brain, it's going to be very invasive to you. They're going to be able to track you, monitor you. They're going to be able to see your memories, your intentions, who knows what else, or at least the things that they think that they can do to you. I mean, reading your thoughts, memories, intentions, and actions, this is real. And while the science, it says here, to connect our brains to computers is slowly becoming a reality, and we know this with cell phones, and the near-term application will mostly benefit society. But we don't really know because there's so many legal, ethical, and moral issues involved here. However, that's not going to stop Elon Musk. He created a company called Neuralink, and Neuralink basically wants to, how do you say it? They want to implant a chip in your brain, and I quote, he said he wants to telepathically summon his car, so you'll be able to summon your Tesla. And he's been right on some predictions on these kinds of technologies. He thinks that this could begin within the next 10 years. And a lot of neuroscientists believe it's going to take a lot longer. But Musk has revealed that he wants to be able to merge the human brain with artificial intelligence. And he says it would make us smarter and more able to compete with the super intelligent AI and ultimately preventing an AI apocalypse, which is not the way I think it's going to go. But look at where we're headed, you know? They do mention that there was an experiment, a little less ambitious, from a pig named Gertrude. And he had a Neuralink device installed in its brain. And, you know, it sent out signals, and they could see it through a tablet, through noises, a series of beeps. But ultimately, that's about as far as it went. Now, their BCI, they say it's going to be surgically implanted into your brain, and the microwaves may be thinner than a human hair, with electrodes that detect signals from individual neurons in your brain. Now, there are some things recently where we've had to use that, of course, for brain injuries and things of that sort, illnesses, but we know that that's not where this is headed. And so, as they always use, like Minority Report, for instance, the movie Philip K. Dick as a source of inspiration, we're definitely headed towards some sort of dystopian future, a future where they're implanting Neuralink devices into our brains, where we're going to be able to download things, make playlists with our brains, and you know, you might not think that's so bad, but actually that's pretty horrible because they're going to be able to track you. You know that some evil person gets a hold of this thing and it's over. They're going to be able to control entire populations. Now, the article does say that this could be years away, decades away, but who knows what Elon Musk is working on right now that he's not telling us about. And it's slowly coming out. Even on the mainstream media. Look, this is NBCnews.com. They're not always necessarily the most honest, but, you know, slowly these technologies are being built, if they're not already, and we're definitely headed towards a meltdown. So thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our podcast. We're going to be spreading more and more the reach of our podcast. But thanks for listening to The Meltdown. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that 5-star rating if you liked our podcast. We're going to be expanding our message, expanding our stories. If you have some end of the world articles, some breaking news, tweet at me. We're at the Meltdown Podcast on Twitter. Let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. Let me know what you want to hear about, what we could talk about, what new books, new movies, new reports you've seen. We're getting close, guys. You better be ready. You better be prepared. You better have Jesus in your heart. He's the one and only way out of this. Thank you so much for listening to The Meltdown. We'll see you next episode, guys.